Hello, Mr. Libby here. It's December 14th. This is the Nearpod for the week. We're going to talk about ions. So, turn points of the Nearpod, answer all the questions, go through all the slides. Nearpod does keep track of how far you've gotten. What is an ion? How is it made? That's what we're going to try to answer. There's a bunch of questions here about valence electrons, not electrons, but electrons. Go ahead and answer those questions. Those are pretty much from last week. There's atoms versus ions. There's a little reading article. Go ahead and leave the window open. It'll open a new web page. Leave that window open so you can answer the questions on the next pages. Those are some of the questions from that reading. Ions, there's Mr. Hopkins will explain the notes for the week. I think it's page 20 in your notebook. Choose the next page that's not done in your notebook to do ions. Here's Mr. Hopkins' video going over the notes. Here are the notes. So there's the notes right there. Go over those. Write them down in your notebook. When you have your notes, you'll be able to fill in these blanks. You'll be able to fill in these blanks. You'll be able to match these up. All right, so match the group based on valence electrons. Tyler video, you're going to go through and answer a couple questions here along the way. Here's a question about the octet rule, and Tyler goes over that in his video. Some more matching, what's going to lose 2 electrons, what's going to gain 2 electrons, etc., etc. This is the first assignment in Google Classroom. It's called Week 17 Board Models, Gain or Lose. I'll go over that here in a second. More matching. This is draw the valence electrons, ions. More matching. A couple questions about the matching, and then forming ions. This is a self-grading sheet. When it turns green, you're good to go. All right, so gains or lose electrons. This is the week 17 lesson. I'm going to open this up. All right, as you're going through here, the nucleus is already there for you, so you don't have to do anything for the nucleus. And that's true for all of them. So this means there's 1 proton and no neutrons. Hydrogen is number 1, so it has 1 electron, because none of these have charges, so that means that P equals E. So you just drag the electron up. You want to put it on the shell closest to the nucleus, because that is the lowest energy level. You put it out here, it's called excited, and we don't want to make excited atoms. So we're going to make the lowest energy form right there. So valence electrons are electrons in the biggest shell. There's 1 electron. It is the biggest shell, so there's 1. If it has 1, 2, or 3 electrons, it's going to lose it, right? So it's going to lose them all. So this is going to lose 1. It's going to, gain or lose. It's going to lose. I'm going to put a big L there. It's going to lose 1, and that means that it'll form a +1 ion. Because ions are protons minus electrons. There's still 1 proton, but if it loses that electron, there's 0 electrons, and 1 minus 0 is 1. Let me go through one up here, I'll do oxygen. So oxygen is number 8 on the periodic table. That means it has 8 protons. That means you need 8 electrons. So you start filling them in closest to the nucleus first. If you fill them in outside in, I'm going to ask you to redo it, because that's not how you do it. So closest to the nucleus first, so there's 1, 2, I need 8. So I need 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total. How many valence electrons? How many in the biggest shell? There are 6 in the biggest shell. All right, that's 5, 6, or 7. If it has 5, 6, or 7, it's going to gain enough electrons to get 8. So it's going to gain electrons, and how many does it need to get 8? It's going to need 2. So it needs 1 here and 1 there. That's 2. Electrons are negative, so this is -2. That's how you do this. If you have questions, please let me know. My video is about to end. I'm going to post this in Google Classroom. Good luck, and I'll see you guys Wednesday.